Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to another episode of Flip Pop. This bookcase or bookshelf belongs to an organization that helps people in need and gives them spiritual support. I have been helping them because it feels good to help other people, so I'll refinish it for them for free. As you can see, it's got many stains and the finish is in rough condition. Here you can see a big water stain. This name must go, sorry Eugenia. Follow me to see what I'll do with it. This space is used to store a microwave oven, an electric kettle, and several other little things. It's not made of solid wood. The shelves are made of particle board covered with a thin veneer that looks like oak, or at least it tries to imitate it. The vertical pieces are pine covered in the same veneer. The finish is probably lacquer and it is very brittle, so 120 grit will remove it quite easily. The finish came off very quickly, however, the stains will need some treatment. I sanded everything with 120 grit and then went up to 180. As I want to stain most of it, 180 is the highest recommended grit for that. Winter is in full swing here, and days have been freezing. We've had big storms in the last few days and weather will continue like this for a couple of weeks. There were some edges that needed some wood filler in every shelf, so my design will have to adapt to that. Now for the big stains. I'll treat them with some oxalic acid. I'll dissolve a couple of tablespoons on a cup of warm water and I'll apply it with a brush. I'll let it perform its magic overnight. The following morning, there was no trace of the water stain, so it was time to rinse the oxalic acid well. It may be toxic if inhaled, so it's very important to rinse it. I'll hand sand the vertical slats with 180 grit. There was a little of finish left, and I just needed a gentle sanding to get rid of all of it. I'll just use this pencil trick to sand everything smooth. went back inside. That evening was freezing. I'm going to apply a custom water-based stain made of walnut and mahogany extracts. It's been my favorite lately. Definitely a beautiful wood color. It makes me remember a friend of mine that said that that color was caramel. And it was time to stain the shelves. Yes, it looks a little bit blotchy. Yes, it definitely looks blotchy. I'll apply a second coat. Maybe I'll use some oil-based stain, and I'll see. Anyway, my design will have to include and accept that blotchiness. You'll see later. Wait for it. I'll mask some areas of every piece. I'm thinking of a paint wood combo that will elevate the piece to a different standard. There you can see a bowl with some oil-based stain. The blotchiness didn't go away. I used the same painter's tape to create a sort of frame that will be painted. To seal the edges of the tape and to have crisp lines, I'll apply some lacquer. That way, when I apply my paint, it will not bleed through under the tape. Since you've stuck around this long, I'd love it if you joined our community by liking and subscribing. Most of my viewers aren't officially subscribed yet, and doing so is free and supports my work immensely. Check out the description below if you're looking for extra ways to help out Mylo and myself. Finally, if you want a closer look at what goes on behind the scenes, we'd love to have you as a channel member. It's where I share special little extracts, heartfelt updates, and personal ideas. For paint, I'll custom mix two colors. This is a gray that I got for $8 in the mistake section at my hardware store. And the next will be this blue from Sherwin-Williams. It turned out as a sort of teal. I love it. I let everything dry overnight. And it is time to finish masking the shelves. As you can see, the stain turned out a little blotchy. However, I think it will not be very noticeable in the end. Wait for it. All this masking process should have been faster, but I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. And of course, my lazy supervisor is always next to me, making sure everything's okay. Painting is relaxing and so satisfying. I can imagine this piece in the kitchen of the organization. It will be a nice gift for everybody who cooperates there. And of course, Mr. Mylo sleeps and relaxes. And now the Art Attack section. I'll use this pearlescent gold to paint some beautiful stencils. Nice. This lotus flower design is so classic and fresh that nobody will ever notice that the stain is a little blotchy. And it is time to put everything together. As it is not glued, just a rubber mallet is enough. Do you remember that outdated bookcase? Here it is now. It is both useful and decorative, and it will brighten the part of the kitchen where it belongs. I refinished it with love so they can keep on doing charity work with love too. I hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.